Hi YouTube, I'm Taylor, this is Rebel, and today we're going to be making a pie crust. So I'm making 2 pie crusts today. So I've got 10 ounces of butter, 4 cups of flour, and 1/4 cup of water. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up my butter. And I'm going to cut it into small pieces, as small as possible. And then after I've cut the butter, I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator while I get the rest of my ingredients ready. And that way it'll stay cold, because it's very important to have cold butter. Now I'm going to sift the flour. So I'm going to add my cut up butter into the flour and then rub it in with my fingers. The butter has to stay cold. If it melts, it's totally going to ruin the pie crust. So you use just your fingertips, and you try not to touch it too much, but just kind of squeeze it together.
Now in Mother Russia, butter up you.
So when you're rubbing in the butter, make sure to use just your fingertips so you don't add too much heat. Because what you want it to have is little pieces of butter that hasn't melted, fully mixed into the flour. It should look like breadcrumbs when you're done. And you should still have some pieces of butter that's not fully incorporated. So I'm getting pretty close to being done on rubbing in the butter. And next we're going to add a little bit of water to bring the rest of the dough together. We're going to use a process called cutting in the water. And to do that, we're going to use a pastry cutter. So it's really important to have cold water as well. So I like to get it straight from the refrigerator. And I'll get about 1/4 cup. Now I'm not going to add it all in at once. Just a little bit at a time, because I don't want the dough to get too wet. But here's my pastry cutter. I'm going to start using straight motions back and forth and turning the bowl to make sure that all of the flour and butter gets incorporated. So this dough is still way too dry. 1/4 cup wasn't enough. Sometimes that happens based on what kind of flour you use, what brand of flour. So I'm going to add a little bit more water in this time.
If there's any dough viewers out there, just know my wife will touch you.
So this dough is looking like it's going to combine pretty well. Whenever I kind of clump it together, it stays formed into a ball. So that's how I know I've added enough water. I'm going to separate this mixture out into 2 dough balls, and then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator to rest for about an hour. I'm not going to knead the dough at all or handle it too much, because that'll make pie dough tough. I'm just going to roll it up in some saran wrap before I refrigerate. Alright, I've finished letting my dough rest and I just got it out of the refrigerator. And now I'm going to roll it out. I finished rolling out my dough. I'm using this on a 9-inch pie pan. So usually I like to roll it out to about 14 inches. I rolled it out a little bit bigger than that this time because I was aiming for a thickness of just a little bit under a 1/4 inch, probably closer to 1/8 of an inch. This is the hardest part, moving the pie crust into the pie pan. So bear with me, this is really hard. Alright, now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator to cool for about another 20 minutes. Oh, rebel.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, my crust is rested. I'm going to take it out of the refrigerator. Going to cut off the excess pie dough. I like to leave a little bit around the edge because it'll shrink a little in the oven. One thing you can do with the extra pie dough is if you roll it back out and cut out shapes, you can make little cookies. I might save mine for later just in case. There's quite a bit of excess on this one. And now I'm going to decorate the edge of the pie. Okay, that's my pie crust. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas of things I could do different, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a great day.